And welcome into another episode of the Uni Podcast. I'm Loftin Dorch. Today's a very special episode because I have my co-founder here, Alex Pastorkovich. And this is a little bit different from what we've done. This is only our third episode, but it's a little bit different. Instead of having a guest, Alex and I are just going to kind of be going back and forth. If you've been listening along, you might be wondering, what the hell is Uni? This podcast is the Uni Podcast, but some people might not know what Uni actually is. So we're going to give you a little bit of insight into our brand, why we started, who we are, and why it matters. So, Alex, welcome in.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah.
Just had to make sure people didn't think it was just your company. So
Exactly.
I'm here too.
Alex is here too. Yeah. I mean, I just have a better camera face, so
okay, there you go.
That's why I do the podcast. But
it's mostly voice.
That's true.
Nobody's watching this on camera.
That's true. Nobody's watching it. So today we're going to go into a little bit. Me and Alex. Alex, let's kind of go into our background because what Alex and I like to do most is talk about ourselves. So this episode's perfect.
We'll do it like for 4 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 4.5.
Yeah.
Like we'll see how it goes. So let's start it off. Uni, Alex. What the hell is Uni?
I mean, so this is our shoe company, obviously. And I guess how it all started. I used to be a registered nurse in the emergency room.
Yeah.
I used to work at UCLA.
Yeah.
And it's a very dirty, messy place. And, there's never any good footwear to wear in a hospital. So it was either, you wear Danskos.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not wearing those.
Yeah. Which for people who don't know what Dansko is, it's basically picture like an 1800s clog. That's Dansko.
Yeah, it looks the same.
Yeah, it looks
as it
the
did
same
with, like,
exact.
Florence Nightingale was, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was either like you wear your running shoes, get all this like stuff soaking in like that mesh, or you wear those. There wasn't really anything good in between, but we'll get there later. But I started as a registered nurse in the ER. We, I did some stuff on the side, just like little vitamin infusions, things like that. And so we were doing a shift one day, just random little vitamin infusion company.
In Beverly Hills or something like that.
Yeah, something bougie.
Yeah.
I think it was like we were together for like 4 hours maybe, right?
Yeah.
And, we met, we talked, whatever. I was like, oh, this guy's cool. So we like exchanged Instagrams. We did our shift, went our separate ways. And then, I think he moved to New York. And I didn't talk to you for probably a couple of years.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, it was probably 2.5 years. And I was in LA, then moved to New York. And then, Alex, we would see each other on social media. And like, I saw Alex, he was getting into business stuff. I was starting to play around while I was in New York with like business things. I was a school nurse when we first started uni. And, I had so much time on my hands because it was very, very easy. Dealing with tummy aches and, headaches and, things like that. Important stuff. So I was like looking into different business things. I had started a coffee cart while I was in LA and then, did that for a while, but ended up moving and selling all my equipment. And Alex was working on some stuff, doing some things with supplements. And so we both knew that it was like, oh, this guy's into business. He was a trail runner. He was like, we were both into similar things. So, that's how it kind of like, I basically slid into Alex's DMs and I was like, hey, you want to start a business?
Yeah, he was like, I feel like we're both nurses. Like you were trying to do like a health coaching thing. I was like, I tried that for a little bit. The nice thing about nursing is like you can go and do these like little side quests and kind of go off and do your own thing on like your days off.
Yeah.
And so like I was dabbling in some stuff. You were dabbling in some stuff. And we're kind of like getting away from the bedside a little bit, doing these kind of different nursing gigs and then doing things on the side. And you were just like, hey man, like you want to start something together? I feel like we're both nurses. We're kind of like trying to do something different, but we don't know what it is. And like, you want to do something together? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah. So two nurses basically like, let's try to find something where it's like, when we first started, it was like healthcare, fitness, something in that realm that we were familiar with. Health, we had both done like some health coaching. So it was like, what is in that like realm of possibility for like a product or a service or whatever. We literally had no idea.
Yeah. I feel like some people have that like aha moment of like, ooh, we should like, we got to do this. But ours was kind of like the opposite of like, okay, I know we want to start something, but like, but what?
Yeah.
And we went through so many different options. And I mean, we were calling each other like every day after work, or like you were in the school nurse, and like I'd be like calling Loftin and he'd answer and be like, oh, sorry, there's a kid coming in. And I just hear him like, like from a distance, I hear like, oh, you're not feeling so good? I feel like, okay, I'll call you back. But we went through so many different variations. I mean, we were thinking about like pre-workouts for like night shift nurses. We were thinking of like hydration drinks. Like I ordered a bunch of like chia seeds. We were making like some like chia hydration thing.
We made
and
this
it was like
jelly, jelly chia seed like mixture and like putting it down. It's like, I
was ordering samples of like all these things. And we're like, what are we going to do? Like none of these feel like it.
Yeah. And so it started for like brainstorming was like, we're going back and forth brainstorming. It's like, what's the issues? What's the problems? And I think that was the thing with some of the other stuff was like, it wasn't necessarily a problem. It was like, oh, this could work. Like chia seeds are hydrating. And if you mix it in water and then you like, it could work, but it's not, we didn't have like, this is a problem, let's fix it. Yeah. So I think we were just brainstorming one day and we were talking about the hospital and shoes came up because I was like, what shoes did you wear to work? Like, or do you wear to work? And Alex, would say like his running shoes or Jordans or something like that. And then I was like, do you wear any like the healthcare shoes? And we're both like, hell no. Yeah. No way. Just because they just didn't look good. And like every time you try them on, it just didn't it felt rubbery, stiff, not that comfortable. Like sure, there might be like some water resistance, but it was just so shiny. And I feel like a lot of the companies just try to make these super bright colors. And that's how it was like, oh, this has functionality, but it's also a fun pink and green and whatever. And that just didn't really sell us too much. Yeah.
And there's more on the scene now, I feel like, where there's more of these brands like emerging because there is like a need for it. But at the time there wasn't really much.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I mean, Figs was out, but Figs was starting to make like scrubs cool.
Yeah.
Because like when we first started, I mean, it was like, you just go to a scrub store, you buy the cheapest thing you could. Yeah. And I was kind of like the same thing with shoes too. Like it was like, these are going to get gross. These are going to get nasty. Like I'm not spending money on good shoes. Yeah. So I'm just going to buy like the cheapest pair possible because they're going to get nasty. Yeah. And so people, I mean, like you would see nurses and they literally look like homeless in the hospital. So and you're like, you look like you're like one of the homeless people we put out with like the paper scrubs and like the beat shoes.
Shoes are just trash.
And I'm like, you're making decent money and you're caring for people and you look like you just like got off a park bench somewhere.
It's so true. Like holes, like ripped mesh, stains all over the shoes. It was pretty disgusting. Nasty. Oh, tell the story.
Yeah.
Your one story.
Well, and I mean, one thing that like really hit home for me was like one day it was like during COVID. I worked at UCLA, so we used to get like celebrities that would come in and whatever. And so we kind of like, I don't know if this is supposed to be said, but we like let them in like the side door just so they didn't have to go like through the front. And so very, very popular celebrity was coming in. They had like, I was like, okay, like I'll go out to the ambulance bay and like grab them and bring them in. Yeah. And so they had like their, like the security cars like blocking off the road so they can come in, and here comes the car whipping in. So I'm like, I'm going out to meet the person. I can't say just HIPAA. But I go out there. I'm like, gonna open the door, let them out, and vomit just comes. Window goes down, vomit right out the window on my shoes. I'm like, oh my God, like this is disgusting. They're coming in because they probably have COVID. I'm like, I got stuff all over my shoes. Yeah. It's just like soaking through my socks. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? Because like they're literally like vomit in my socks right now. Yeah. Disgusting. But you have to care for that person. I can't just be like, oh, sorry, I got to go change my shoes before I bring you in.
Well, and usually you don't even have another pair of shoes at the hospital. Everybody's got their like one pair of shoes that they wear and leave in their car or on their porch or whatever. What are you going to do? Yeah, like people usually don't have a spare pair of shoes just laying around.
Right. And like you can do the scrub change. Like you can go to like the OR and grab the OR scrubs, whatever, exchange it. But you don't have that for shoes.
Yeah, for sure.
And so Yeah, I mean, so I just I sat in them for the rest of the shift,
Ooh.
and so I brought the person in, whatever, and then as soon as I got home, I had to toss them.
Yeah, and you can try to wipe it off.
Yeah.
But I mean, the
you're not
mesh
wiping mesh
absorbs everything, and right into your socks. It's disgusting. And so, that I mean, we've all had similar experiences, I think, like that. And so Alex and I are both just like, I mean, this is an issue.
Yeah.
Like the shoes that are out there kind of for healthcare professionals, like we were not on board with those. Like tried them, didn't like them. But our running shoes, which we both are runners, we love running shoes, but the breathable mesh, for one. The other part was we just realized that they were so unstable, these big cushioned running shoes that both of us love because they help us go quicker when we run. Like we're moving in a straight line. We need it to be super bouncy, cushioned. But then at work, when we're like bending down to empty a Foley or you're pulling a patient up in bed, like you'd feel so unstable because the mesh, it just compresses. And so then you're leaning too far one way. And like I throw my back out all the time just trying to pull a patient up. And then I feel like kind of unsteady and like try to adjust. And then, and so I feel like so many people are dealing with both of those things. And so Alex and I are like, I mean, here's a problem that we both have. That's what entrepreneurship is. Like you find a problem and it's like, well, how can we fix that? And it's like, well, maybe we just make a shoe.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what we thought. Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, I was like, I've always loved shoes. And so like when I was younger, it was like, I wanted to work at Finish Line so bad. That was like my first job. And then like all through college, I was like super into sneakers. I was like doing all like the limited drops and reselling and whatever. And it's funny because I didn't actually realize this until like years later. But like my superlative for like nursing school, it was like most likely to design his own line of running shoes or nursing shoes.
That's crazy.
And I had like totally forgot about that. And then like I think a year after we started the company, I like found that photo and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it like came true. But
yeah, so people knew.
Yeah. And so I've always loved sneakers and it was like, you just couldn't wear cool shoes to work because they would get beat, or you couldn't wear cool shoes to work because there was no options. And so we're like, we got to be able to make a shoe that like looks cool, has all the functionality needed. And like, why is there not this out there already? Like it was like 2021 maybe. I'm like, we have like self-driving cars, but we don't have like a decent looking nursing or like work shoe. Like,
crazy.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, so basically from there, I mean, now we can kind of go into, because you come up with the idea, and I feel like a lot of people come up with ideas, and it's like...
There's no shortage of ideas.
Yeah, it's like, that's a great idea. Wow, like, awesome. But now what?
Yeah.
Now what do you do? And both of us went to nursing school. We didn't go to business school. We aren't shoe designers. We don't know anything about manufacturing. So... what do you do? Start with a nice little Google search. We didn't have ChatGPT back then. I mean... back in the day, back in 2021. So we Google search, and then, I mean, I think the first thing was we had an idea of what we wanted. We got pictures and things like that. And we're like, oh, something like this would be kind of cool. And then we needed a designer. So Upwork, if people aren't familiar with that, Upwork is just freelancers, tons of freelancers. No matter what you want, you just search them. So got on Upwork, let's find a designer. So we found a designer, shout out Mark. Yeah. Shout out Mark Brinton. We found a designer and just started working, sending inspiration of what we wanted. They sketch out, 5, 6, 7 sketches. And it's like, okay, we like that, but we don't really like this. So let's combine these two. And then here's another example. And it's just like a constant like back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, we sent hundreds of pictures of like other shoes that we find, and like, ooh, we like this part of like this shoe. And then it was the same thing with the drawings too, where it's like, oh, I like this part of this thing. And it's like kind of put it all together. And I mean, it took us months to like go back and forth to really like nail the design down and get kind of what we want. Obviously, the features are super important. So that was always at like the pinnacle. It's like, we need to have these. And it wasn't like, we call them features, but I feel like they're more like requirements for our things.
It's like non-negotiables, basically.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, if you're going to make a shoe for this workplace, it needs to have these things.
Totally.
So it needs to have like the water resistance. It needs to have slip resistance. It needs to be durable. It needs to be comfortable for all day.
Yeah.
And then I think one that's sort of like a non-negotiable now is like a wider toe box.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most shoes are just so narrow
So
and
narrow.
thin, and they
Yeah.
don't follow like a natural foot shape.
No.
And so we wanted a shoe that was followed the natural foot shape,
Yeah.
but also gave you that room for like when you're standing for
Yeah.
10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, like your feet are going to swell.
Yeah.
And by the end of the shift, they're going to be, you know, maybe a little bit wider than when you started.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to account for that.
Yeah.
And then it was like style
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there wasn't anything that was like, you know, like neutral color tones.
Yeah.
There wasn't things that looked like sort of fashionable. So you have like these like trendy scrubs now, and they're
Yeah.
like all like there's like jumpsuits and like all these cool scrubs, but then you're wearing like
Yeah.
plastic like
Yeah.
slip-ons, like
Yeah.
no. And so we wanted to like give people the opportunity to kind of express themselves like through their footwear.
Yeah.
Like there was no like mid or high tops. So we wanted to have that because
Yeah.
that's always cool. And then I have all the different color options, but sort of stay within like that neutral color palette.
Yeah.
So you could wear it like to the gym or out with jeans or whatever.
Hey guys, it's Loftin. Ever wonder why two nurses would start making shoes? Let me tell you why. My co-founder Alex and I realized our running shoes were destroying our feet at work because they were designed for runners, not us. So we designed the first high-performance work shoe built for all-day standing. With max comfort, fluid and slip resistance, and extreme durability, our shoes will leave your feet, knees, and back feeling great at the end of the day. Check us out at www.uni.shoes.
Yeah, we definitely wanted more of we wanted the style of the shoe to be the main focus, where it's like colorways. I feel like a lot of companies try to cover up the style with like a bright, flashy color, whereas like we were wanting to have a very sleek, stylish, good-looking shoe and keep the colors as kind of like those neutrals, which go with all different kinds of scrubs. And you're seeing that more now too. Like neutrals are just, people are liking that more than like, and colors come and go. Like it's different every year, but that was kind of what we liked anyway. And actually that probably became more of a thing after we started, where neutrals were more like in and cool.
Yeah.
But we kind of liked that anyway. So we just decided to go with that. But yeah, the non-negotiables, all those features, we had a style that we eventually, through a lot of back and forth, we were able to get to and be like, this looks just like a great shoe that didn't have to be worn in the hospital. It's like, we didn't want a shoe that you look at it and it's like, oh yeah, that's a healthcare shoe or whatever, a kitchen shoe. We wanted it to be, oh, that shoe, oh, it's got water resistance and slip resistance and super comfortable for work. But like, I'd wear that even if I was on vacation or just hanging out in casual clothes or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was like from there, it's like you take it to a manufacturer. So
Yeah.
luckily, our designer had a connection with a factory that we kind of got to, like sample with and
Yeah.
kind of create the prototypes and the shoes that way. And so, again, a lot of back and forth. I think this was like another year and a half of like just going back and forth, sampling different things. We're like, oh, fix this, fix that. And, like we're not the ones like calculating the little millimeter changes and designing like the actual like tech part of the shoe. It's like we're offering our insight, our advice, what we want it to look like, what we want it to feel like, oh, we want this to be a little bit wider. And then the designer is going to adjust that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, why are you guys like, I'm not going to trust a nurse making a shoe. It's like, we're not the ones like designing. I'm not like drawing stuff out and like measuring little pieces.
We're not sewing the fabric together and like making that. Yeah. We knew exactly what we needed.
Right.
We need all these features. If we felt something that was off, we'd tell them, hey, this doesn't feel quite right. And how do we fix that? And they knew exactly how to fix that. And so we ended up coming up with this product after tons of back and forth that we're like, wow, this is exactly what we were looking for in a shoe for work or life or whatever.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the next part of that, which is probably the biggest barrier of entry is, especially with footwear, which we didn't realize going into this, was just like, how do you afford to manufacture all this?
Yeah.
And so like for anybody that doesn't know, which we had no idea.
We had no idea.
You need to create molds for the shoe. So like the upper, the midsole, the outsole, like everything has a mold, and each one of those comes with a cost, and each size has you have to pay that
Yeah.
three different like mold costs basically for each size.
Yeah.
And so we went into it. We're like, we're gonna have like size women's 5,
Yeah.
like men's 13. It's like 20 sizes,
Yeah.
like, and then each one of those is like, I don't even know, like between $2,000 to $4,000
Yeah.
a piece.
Just for the molds. Like you don't have any shoes yet.
Yeah.
Like you're just making the molds.
It's literally just to size the
Yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
And so, the next part, and so we were like looking at different like loans. We're trying to get investors, and then we're trying to get, and neither of those worked out. And so we're like, let's just like crowdsource. So it's like, okay, we can do like a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So we like went through the whole process of like trying to get this like Kickstarter campaign going. So we like launched the website. We had like a whole email and ads to like collect emails and get people hyped for the shoes. And then the plan was to like in December we were going to launch the Kickstarter campaign. Everybody was going to pre-order a pair.
Yeah.
We use that money if we got enough to purchase all the molds and then actually manufacture those shoes.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't the best, like release plan, but it was like what we were doing. We were
what you have
bootstrapping
to
it.
do,
We had
yeah.
no money.
Yeah,
We already
and if-
poured so much money into like the design and
Yeah.
sampling of everything. So.
And if people don't know what Kickstarter is, it's a lot of newer companies will do it where they basically do pre-orders. That's what it is. Like you run a pre-order, you show this is the product we're going to be making, this is the problem we're solving, people will pre-order it, you get the money so then you can go and make the product and you don't have to take on a big investment before you've even started. So a lot of new companies do that. So that's what we wanted to do. And so, that's what ultimately we decided to do. So that process took a while, just like collecting emails and building up the hype and letting people know like what was happening and what was going on. And then we were getting so close to our launch. Actually, the night before our launch, we got an email.
we got hit with like a cease and desist letter for like another company that had like Uni as their name.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've never gotten a legal email before, a cease and desist letter. And we were about to launch this thing and we're like, oh my God, like could not be worse timing. But also like, we were like, I mean, maybe this is a good thing because like we haven't made any of these shoes yet. And so like we haven't bought these molds. And so if we buy all these molds and they have Uni in them, we got to change our name. And it's like all these things. We're just like flying through our head. And we were like so hyped because we were about to like drop the campaign. And so we decided like, pause that.
Yeah.
Let's like deal with this.
Yeah. Figure out what's going on.
We'll kind of proceed forward. So
And it was literally the night before. I think that's what made it tough too. If it had been like a couple weeks before and then it's like, okay, let's figure it out. But we had been building this up for so long and anticipating it and telling everybody about it. And then all of a sudden it's the night before and it's just devastating. Like my wife has a video of me just like curled up. I need to find it, but I'm basically like curled up on the phone with Alex. He's telling me, I don't know why she was videoing my pain and agony, but now I'm glad I have it because it's something to remember. But I'm literally talking to Alex and just like curled up and being like, oh shit, damn it. And because it was devastating. It really was like, especially for a new company where you're like, does this mean we have to change? Because we won't get into it, but picking a name is such a pain in the ass. Like everybody's taken something. We even went through the trademarking process where we trademarked our name and this still happened. And just FYI, if people are selling a product with the name on it and they don't have a trademark, they still have rights apparently. So, we were like, that doesn't make any sense. So anyways, we ended up having to deal with this while trying to launch and we had to put everything on hold. How long were we on hold?
I don't even remember honestly, but it was devastating because we had to send out emails to everybody because everybody was like, oh, like so hyped, like they were about to buy in the morning. And then we had to send out some like email. It was like emergencies, something. I wish we looked at the email before I don't remember on here, but
it kills momentum too because people are so into it. And then we had to start building the hype all back up. And I'm sure we lost people who were like in it and then all of a sudden you stop and that, they didn't pre-order or whatever. So that definitely hurt. But eventually we ended up I don't know if we can.
Well, I mean, we ended up just selling them on our website. Like we did our own pre-order. We didn't end up doing the Kickstarter because it was just going to be confusing.
Yeah.
There's so many like fires and things that happen that you have to like put out and move through.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what stops a lot of people from actually getting like from the start to like the point of like this is a real business because there's so many barriers that like keep hitting you and you just feel like you're getting punched in the face like left and right constantly and you just got to like take it and like keep going.
Yeah.
And so we ended up like launching it and we got hit with another one from another company, but by that time we were like, oh, we got one of these before and then beat it, so it's fine.
Yeah. And both times it's like, it's people just, who knows why, but their social medias aren't active. They're not even selling or making new products, but they have the name and they've been doing stuff in the past. And so it was one of those things where eventually we were able to just be like a mutual use agreement. Like you can use the name, we'll use the name. Like we're very different from each other. So
it's probably just trying to make a quick buck and just flex back at them. And they're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, we didn't back down. We were like, no, we're actually gonna, okay, you want to do this, we'll do it. And then of course nobody wants to spend all these attorney fees and legal fees. And so it's like, okay, well, never mind. So we got through it, but it was a dark time.
Yeah. Very, very, very rough couple of months.
Yeah.
But, and so, I mean, we got the money.
Yeah.
We needed to kind of like get things going. Yeah. And so we started, making the molds, manufacturing. Yeah. We had this like specialty fabric that we found that was all the things that we wanted. It was antimicrobial, fluid resistant, like abrasion resistant, awesome, which took forever to like make. The company's like terrible.
Yeah. The product was great.
Awesome.
Product was great. The company and the execution was not it.
So, I mean, this fabric was like so delayed. We're waiting on this fabric for like the longest time. It finally gets our manufacturer like months later and none of it is usable. Yeah. Like there's like smears and everything. Like the color is like all off and it was literally a disaster.
Yeah, literally nothing. Because it takes a while to print this stuff. Yeah. Like we didn't realize it. It's not like, oh, we want that fabric. But because ours was so like specialized, they had to actually print, like get the base fabric and print and do like treat and do all this stuff. So it's not like you can just, it's like, oh, it wasn't usable. Oh, just send some more. It's like, no, they had to go schedule a reprint and work it in with their other clients. And it took forever while we've already done pre-orders and people are sitting here waiting for their product. And I think, what did we give it? 3 months, 4 months?
I think it was 3.
I think it was 3, which we learned you always overestimate, like double, like your times that you think, at least double. And so, of course, from there, it's like, even though you keep giving people updates every day, it's like, I think you were doing customer service at that time. And poor Alex, oh my goodness, every day you're just like trying to hold people off. And of course we had to we refunded a decent amount of people, but some people super nice would be like, hey, totally understand, like new company rooting for you, whatever. But then some people were just so, I don't understand what you're, and it's no, people don't understand what goes into starting a company, especially a footwear company. And you can go into some detail, but you don't want to like give like, oh yeah, our fabric supplier completely fucked up. Like you don't want to like give too much of that detail. So it's like, it's trying to find that balance between like letting them know what's going on without like getting into the weeds, and that balance is hard.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it seems like people think that we're just like over here with like our hands behind our head, like just chilling, like, oh, we'll drop them when we want to. But like we're running around with like our heads cut off, like trying to like this is not fun for us to like. We wanted these things out a year ago. And like we're still trying to like do everything we can to like get these out to people. Like it's fun for us to like supply these shoes. We've been waiting and working so hard for this. There's nothing more. Trust me, you do not want to get your shoes more than we want to give them to you.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was like damage control. And like, I get it. Like we're a new brand. People like put down money like months ago, and it's like 6 months later and you're like, where are my shoes? So like I understand, but
especially in like an Amazon culture where everybody's used to getting like same day delivery or next day delivery. So for this, some people know what Kickstarters are and pre-orders and they're used to it. Other people, it's a newer thing, and those were the people who had a hard time. It's like, oh, I have to wait 4 months. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And then it's like, no, it ended up being 6 months, 7 months. I don't know.
6.5, 7 months.
Oh, so that was a rough time as well. So, but finally, new fabric shipped. We were able to make the shoes. Thank goodness. What did we do? 1,000 pairs, I think was our first.
I think something like that.
Yeah. For a very small first run. But we got it. Ship the shoes, which you ship them by boat, which always takes longer.
Yeah.
So shipping took long. So we're like sitting there like, hey, they shipped. And it's like, yeah, but then of course it's going to take at least 30 days, like at least to get. And then it lands. And of course we're like, tell everybody it lands. We're like checking tracking like multiple times a day. And then like it gets held up in customs for how long was it?
It was like a week or two.
Like a week
extra,
or two.
And it's just, yeah.
So we're like sitting here like people are like, I thought it landed. And it's like, yeah, but now customs is like not clearing it yet. And so it's just like one thing after another. And of course we've come to realize that's the norm, especially for,
unfortunately,
for businesses. You always expect the unexpected and shit's going to come up all the time. And you just have to learn how to like deal with it or plan better for it, which we've gotten better at doing. Just adding like 3 or 4 months to whatever you actually think is going to be the date.
Right.
But finally we got them, we started shipping them, and oh man, that was probably the best feeling because we worked so hard to get from, concept to finished prototype to then shipping to customers, but it felt so good.
Yeah. And that was like probably a 2-year process.
Yeah.
2 years, a lot of money, a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's amazing to see and like hold something or put it on your foot and you're like, I made this.
I made this.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Just kind of see that dream come to life.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it's all worth it.
Yeah, all worth it. And so now here we are, however long later it's been, 2.5 years? 2 years?
2021. So was that 4?
Yeah. Or since we shipped, since we shipped or
like
whatever.
2 years, yeah.
Probably 2 years
of
since
selling shoes.
people started getting the shoes and wearing them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so now we're cranking. I mean, there's tons of more stories. We put out so many more fires. Like it's been just as hard from that point. You'd think it couldn't get any harder from that first like 2 years, but it's definitely been pretty hard.
Yeah, you
then.
develop like a stronger chin.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's like,
You just
okay.
get used to it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this happened. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Figures.
That makes sense.
That makes it makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
So but that's just a little bit about our background. I think it's important to like, especially for a company that maybe you haven't heard of before, or it's just nice to hear like the backstory and a little bit of behind the scenes. And started from our own problem. We wanted to fix it. We had something we were like passionate about, and we were able to come up with a solution, and now we're shipping shoes. We're making shoes. Nurses making shoes.
Yeah, somehow we're making it happen.
Somehow. So
and I mean, uni I'm just gonna say this too because it's like uni. We call it uni.
Yeah.
It's probably technically uni, but we like the umlauts.
Uni,
We just thought they were cool.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother process, like coming up with the name.
Yeah.
We went back and forth on that for
so much
for weeks,
Yeah.
trying to figure something out. But uni is like the unique part of your uniform.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we landed on. We thought it looked cool, sounded cool.
Designed for you.
Designed for
can
you.
use a little umlauts.
Yeah, we move with you. Like, there's not a lot of like little marketing things you could do with the you. We haven't done too many of them yet, but, but they're there if we want it.
They're there if we want to.
So.
Yeah. So that's uni. Hope you follow along more. I mean, we're still from a company standpoint, we are very young.
Yeah.
We are still baby company, but growing very fast, and it's fun.
It's been awesome.
It's been awesome. So we've got some really fun things right now we're working on, which it's kind of the process that we just went through where it's like slow going, but beginning of next year, it's going to be some fun shit. Yeah. Some fun shit. Okay. Thank you guys. And we'll see you next time.